There in a minute. Evening, good evening. Welcome to the Mancunian way. Flying solo. Always the best way. Hope we are well. As you've noticed, I've got a bit of a cleaner camera. I know that's a good or a bad thing looking at my glimush. But Manchester City are doing what they do best, collecting pots, trophies, whatever you want to say. We've collected them all at home. We're now collecting them all abroad. So Manchester City Supercup winners 2023. Let me just double check my Wi-Fi is fully working. I'm just going to switch my Wi-Fi. It's been weird. Give me 1 sec. Good evening. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Let's get in some of your comments. But yes, Manchester City Super Cup 2023 winners. Hey, do you know the more breaking news on this tonight? Manchester City have won a penalty shootout. Won a penalty shootout. I mean, by the way, Andy's just joined us. He wasn't going to join us because he was doing mugs, because he is a bit of a mug. And all I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking at right now. Should we do this just to wind him up? He told me he wasn't coming on.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
All right.
What's with the air?
What do you mean?
You've been to Turkey?
What do you mean? I've always got hair.
You're normally bald.
No, I normally have one of them bald wig things on normally, taking a mic, but I didn't have time to put it on tonight, so I just thought I'd just come as I am as it was.
No, but you've chosen a 1960s hairdo.
Yeah, man. It's me, Liam Gallagher, innit?
You look like Alan without glasses.
That's not a compliment, is it?
I'm glad you noticed. Good evening, Super City. Never in doubt. No, was it never in doubt? By the way, at halftime, I was quitting all social media. I was done with the City fan base at halftime. The meltdown was mad.
Martin phoned me during the game. Meltdown. I was laughing.
No,
mate,
I wasn't melting down about the game. Tell him all what I was melting down about.
Yeah, he says all his subscribers and stuff like that. He hates every single one of them.
Bastard. Oh, Rich is there now. No. Rich can only join us for 10 or 15 minutes.
Hello, Rich.
Hello, Rich.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Another trophy. Cole Palmer going nowhere. He's unreal. Yeah, we'll get into that because you might be upset with that, Alec Johnson. I think you might be going somewhere, mate. Champions of Europe, we know what we are. Hot climate was mentioned tonight after the game. I don't know because everyone was having a meltdown at halftime.
It was that hot. That's why it was melting down.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. I'm spitting all over everywhere now. We were all over them possession-wise. They were parking their feet. By the way, can someone tell Sevilla about football is to kick the ball, not the opponent's ankles?
God,
I don't think I've ever seen a dirtier team than they were.
Tell them now.
Tell them now. We look like we weren't fit. Exactly. You know what, Daniel? Spot on. Thank you. Someone's got a bit of sense.
Hang on a minute. No, sorry, Daniel. However, a little bit in that.
We're not allowed sense.
No, a little bit. But let's not keep for granted the heat what them guys were playing out in there, mate. That was ludicrous, that heat. But I've had a brainwave. I've had a brainwave. I know why he only made one substitution, I think.
There's
no way. No, because he probably knows, Pep, that how much it took out of them players, or it would have took out them players. So he was saving the likes of Diaz, Bernardo, Stonesy for Saturday, where that freshen up will come in. Even Alvarez, because he didn't play for much. So I fancy them four I've just mentioned to start on Saturday.
Jack Grealish is a sub. Foden's a sub. It's amazing these reserves we've got in it.
I just think people go overboard, mate.
Well, I did text someone at half time. I went, has Jack Grealish been sleeping with every fan's wife? Because the reaction he was getting, I thought he had done.
The what he was getting?
The reaction he was getting.
Oh, reaction. I was going to say
What
sleeping
do you
with
think I
wives.
said?
It was reaction.
By the way, there's nearly 90 of you on already, and we're only 6 minutes in. Smash that thumbs up. It really does help the channel, your channel. Thank you very much. I'm going to whiz through all of these. Rich, I will get to all your comments. There's absolute loads in, and I appreciate it. I really, really do. I will come to them all. Let's start with the lineups tonight. Manchester City lined up as kind of expected, really. No, there was one change I wasn't expecting. I was expecting Ortega to start tonight, but he started with Steady Eddie, Kyle Walker, who was captain, Akanji, Ake, Vardio, Foden, Roderick, Kovacic, Palmer, Haaland, and Grealish. On the substitutes bench were Ruben Diaz and John Stones, which weren't really ever going to be used. I think they were just there for bodies, especially Diaz. Calvin Phillips, again, just another body. Laporte, another body, because he's going to Saudi Arabia. Ortega, they've offered a new contract, but he is intrigued by first-team football at Bayern. Julian Alvarez, as we know, his first team. Gomez, probably going to go on loan. Perone, probably going to go on loan. Carson, third-choice keeper. Oscar Bob, we're going to keep. Lewis, brand new contract, we're going to keep. First-team squad. And James McAtee, who we do not know, may be leaving to go to Ajax. So that was a fun bench tonight, wasn't it? Talk about the motley crew.
That's what. No, I like it. That's what I've wanted to see for ages.
90% of them won't be there next week.
Well, no, it'll be interesting to see. I suspect we might have to keep one or two more of the academy players because, unless we do really go out and sign 3 more players, we are going to need, 4 or 5 academy players who are happy being on the bench and we're happy coming into the team. So, I think we'll keep one of McAtee, Bob, or Palmer. Which one, I guess, depends on short-term and long-term thinking.
Keep Palmer.
I would at the moment is the most, clearly the one who's ahead to play, but that may mean he's the one who's most likely to get a decent offer or opportunity. That's the flip, isn't it? But yeah, I think team's pretty much as we'd have expected. Only surprise for me was Lewis not being in the side.
So, I mean, there was no Bernardo.
Because he's young and sprightly and could have,
I mean, to me, if that had been a league game today, I've got a feeling Bernardo might have gone through the ill barrier to play in that one.
Of course he would.
I think Bernardo just didn't play because it was what it was. And I'm not taking anything away because we won a trophy.
And Diaz and Stones as well, I agree with you. If that had been Saturday, then them 3 would have played.
Foden disappointed me today, can't lie. Palmer looked good. In one half, he looked good. Let's be straight here, Daniel. In the second half, he looked good. First half, it was like many. He wasn't very good. But let's be straight.
Can I ask you a question about Foden? Does it look as if I'm not joking here? Does it look as if he's lost a lot of weight?
It looks like he's lost muscle.
No, it does look as if I don't mean just tonight. He's bound to. All the players must have lost a considerable amount of fluids and that tonight. But I even thought the same on Friday night. Foden just looked a little bit lightweight. Maybe he needs to go to the gym with Diaz.
If he did, can he send his thing my way? Because I could do with losing a lot of weight.
I've put Foden's weight on. I've got chippy now.
Yeah, you look though. Look at Haaland, the weight he's lost since he signed. I reckon Haaland's lost a stone since we signed him. He's a lot more lean. So possibly Foden's been going the same way.
He's got to be laughing at you, not me, Rich.
Yeah.
Rich knows what I'm laughing at. Evening Blues sitting knocking on the show. Rich, take over for a minute.
No, I think this is quite good. I think we'll just let you.
He's like so oblivious. Oh, I'm going to cry. How many our trophy cabinets are getting awfully full? Do you know what they are? And do you know what I can't wait for, DC? On Saturday, when me and Andy walk into the Etihad while Rich is sat in the bar watching it with his TV remote again, we will see all 4 of those little beauties.
It'll be 5 in the morning. I don't think I'll be in a bar. I think I'll be
I'm joking.
on the lounge.
I don't want to see them.
All 4 of them little beauties will be on show.
I don't want to see them.
Do you know what, Martin? They're bringing all 4 trophies down to our local pub. So
here we go.
They are.
They're the replicas, mate. Replicas.
They're the ones that City have, though.
I don't want us to. I don't want us to show the trophies before the match. I want us to do the business, mate. Anybody who wants to see the trophies can go to the souvenir shop. Oh, sorry, the club shop. Shows you how old I am.
Souvenir shop? Calm down, Chipper.
Shut up, Martin. At least I've got my own hair.
You've not noticed your name on here yet, have you?
Okay. Chippy Tip, yeah.
I changed it when you called yourself it. That's what I was losing it. No, it's only a bit of fun. We love Andy. Evening Blues. Hope you're good, Andy Savage, mate. It's a bit formal, Michael, innit? Full name.
Hey, Michael can call me whatever he wants. I'm all good, my friend.
I mean, Andy, your thoughts of that first half, honestly? Because I know you were not happy on Twitter.
No, I wasn't not happy. I just said it was quite obvious. We was way off the pace. Good header for their goal. Poor defending, in my
Beautiful
opinion.
header. I mean, that was a pure. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the sort of mid-table Premier League sides goes for him, because that was some header.
But the thing is, though, Rich, right? And I do think the heat was intense tonight. Listen, Sevilla used to playing in hot temperatures. Yada 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 yada. Other people might say, yeah, but we've just come back from Asia where it was scorching. Yeah, but we didn't exactly cover ourselves in glory in Asia. So the climate has got to take a lot into it. We didn't play our best, but we've come away with a trophy. Before the match, I wasn't I wasn't that overly bothered about it, if I'm being honest. However, if you're going to play in it, you may as well play to win it, and we rode our luck. I thought towards the end of the second half, we were starting to ramp it up a little bit on them because, yeah, our possession was great. Sevilla caught us a few times on the counter. I read somebody who said Ederson was brilliant tonight. Absolutely brilliant for Ederson. I think probably the
man of the match.
Yeah, I think the 3 what did all right tonight was Ederson, Kovacic, bargain, absolute bargain. He's going to be a Rolls Royce for us.
He shut some doubters up tonight.
Not me, mate. I said it was a great signing from the word go, and he will assist a lot, to the big lad up front. But I think we've got to give Sunji Andy. I think listen, let's get the elephant out of the room. Not you, Martin.
Whoa!
A lot of praise has got to go to Cole Palmer in that second half, mate.
I know I'm a fat sod, but calm down with the elephant, Joe.
We've got to give Cole Palmer some praise for the second half because I at times, sometimes he can get frustrating. He really can get frustrating when he doesn't pass. It was like Mike Sweeney. Like Sweeney Todd, mate.
No, he's not on. He's not on this channel.
No, I forgot.
I'm not going there.
No, it frustrates us a little bit, Cole, but that'll come with playing. He held the ball.
Can look for glasses. Speaking of Alan, he has given us a super chat that we will come into in a moment. So I haven't missed your super chat. Go on, Andy, calm down. Carry on. Oh, he's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
No, nor me.
I think we've lost him.
Yeah, well, he's probably been, he's looking too much like Doc Cotton, isn't he? So he's...
Muddy, that's your fault. You called him Alan without glasses.
Right,
okay. Rich, what did you make that first half?
bit dull, really. It was clearly a game where, Pep.
Now you do look like it.
They were protecting themselves from the heat and the weather, and in a way it was still part of pre-season. So I think the team, it was one of those games that we used to have a lot more of, where I think we were like 75% possession. We had 3 or 4 times as many chances as them, but probably I thought they had slightly the better chances. And, we were dominant in many facets without being good.
You know what? Can I just say, I normally listen to all my Zerdu, but my word is he got the fan base rolling at the moment. I wish he would. He's come onto Twitter, dropped that bombshell, and then went on holiday. It's like, hello.
Tolme.
Yeah.
If anybody's not familiar with Tolme is from Blue Moon Forums. He's been on it donkey's years. He's very, very credible, Tolme. Nobody knows who he is. However, he doesn't get everything right. I wouldn't expect anybody to get anything right. But what I will say is he's very, very credible. And what he does say, it's worth a listen. A bit like somebody who we know, Martin, who's never let us down.
He told me something else today, by the way.
He or she?
He or she. I think they know it's a male now. Alan, please, we won, but it was an awful performance at the back. Look, I mean, can I just? It is only the second game of the season. What are honestly people expecting?
Yeah,
Have I lost the plot here or something?
It's quite ridiculous that people in what is essentially a pre-season friendly.
Thank you, Rich.
In 100-degree weather, with our 2 first-choice centre-backs rested, and the midfield thing, that we've got people getting antsy about the performance. I mean, the only thing I took from it is that Pep has had them all doing a bit of penalty taking practice.
Rich, can you shut Alan up?
I'll be honest with you now. Grealish, Alan's put here, Grealish did not beat a man on the outside, not once. To start off, I thought Grealish was our most potent forward in the first half.
And why beat them on the outside when you can beat them on the inside?
Maybe I watched a different game, but there was a few of us sat there going, Grealish has been our most potent threat. What are we on about here?
And honestly, even when he's man of the match, how often does Grealish really beat players on the outside? I mean,
well, how many did Palmer beat on the outside in the first half?
It's not generally the way
we play.
And most players now don't play going on the outside. But I think Alan's probably getting, he's getting on a bit. He's probably just getting Buzzer and, Grealish mixed up.
Do you know what made me laugh?
Probably watching the ballet on ice and complaining Buzzer's not
you watched that first half. Grealish and Palmer were doing the exact same thing. None of them were going down the outside to beat a man.
No, they don't.
Because when they're both not doing it, it tells me one very simple thing. They've been instructed not to do that. Also, we've got to give a 48-year-old Jesus Navas, former City player, a lot of credit because he did. Well, he seems 48. I know he's not. He's about 37. But the fact is, the fella, I thought, played an absolute blinder tonight.
Yeah, he's so quick.
The Argentinian World Cup winner on the bench.
Oh, don't bully him, Alex.
To be honest, I don't even look at the Premier League table until 6 games go in. In all seriousness, because we're 2 weeks behind everyone else on pre-season. Because the reason that being because we were successful. Yeah. That's why we're 2 weeks behind everybody else. We got straight on a plane after the celebrations, if you like. Went to the other side of the world. Come back, had a fantastic performance and victory against Burnley. Then after that, we've flown over to Greece, which some travel agents have been stopping people going to Greece because it's been that hot and it still is that hot. So that's not done us any favors going from this temperature to that. We've won a trophy, and now Saturday is going to be very, very, very tricky. Newcastle have got a great chance of getting something against us on Saturday. However, as I said earlier, I'm a believer. That's a song that in here. I'm a believer. Anyway, I think that's why Pep didn't have Diaz, Stones, or Bernardo.
Everything about tonight would have been with Saturday in mind. No question at all. And that's the way it is. I mean, some of the overreactions and some of the takes have just been ridiculous. One, I was listening earlier, to people saying, without De Bruyne, City are no longer Champions League favourites. It's going to be difficult. Now, the likelihood is De Bruyne's going to be back before we play a meaningful game in the Champions League, unless by some miracle we actually, get a group of death or something, which as an English side is actually quite hard. The chances are we can roll through the Champions League groups like most years without having to worry about needing De Bruyne. And the truth is, if he's then had surgery and a proper rest for the longest time in, probably in a decade of his career, then he might be in a far fitter, better shape for the knockout rounds than he would be if he'd played through the injuries. So some of the takes are mad. Yes, De Bruyne will hurt us in a few big league matches between now and Christmas when we're playing, the top 4 or 5 sides. But, and then, I heard comments today are, without De Bruyne, we have no creativity. I mean, again, absolute rot. Possibly without De Bruyne, Bernardo and Gundogan, who've been basically in those 2 attacking midfield slots, they've probably played 80% of our games or big games or more for 3 years. Yes, we probably do lack a bit of cohesion there, because tonight we had the 3 players who played there not there. Now, Bernardo comes back, we sign someone, that starts to get addressed. So I just think there's a lot of, maybe it's that, people like Alan love moaning. They love complaining.
Hang on. We've got another super chat. I must read this out.
Yeah.
If I had a bit of a funny nail me a wig, I get banned for weeks. No, there's 2 differences, Alan. You come on the channel with a wig and do a Scouse accent. Number 1. Number 2, if you want to know, ladies and gents, might as well go, because Alan wants to do super chats to public it, Rich.
Alan's on the naughty step. He's on the naughty step, but keep letting him.
Alan's on the naughty step at the moment because Alan's Twitter is not a good representation of the channel. So
except now you've brought much more attention to it, Martin.
Well, no, because he's no one. Anyway, no Gundogan, KDB, Bernardo. I'm just listen. He's throwing. I don't know why he's.
He'll have more followers than Elon Musk. In a day or 2 now, because everyone's there on their phones. Everyone's there on their phones.
People forget that. No KDB, no Bernardo, no Gundo. We have no Diaz, no Stones. I even saw fans having a pop at Vardy at half time. Which amazed me.
Yeah. Following the wrong people, mate.
We notoriously... We deliberately start slowly. We deliberately don't peak too soon because we know that our season's still going in May. So we have made a conscious effort compared to nearly every other top Premier League side for 3 or 4 years now to start pre-season 2 weeks normally later than everyone else, 3 weeks later than some of the Premier League sides. And that's because we know we're going to have a lot more games and the season's going to go longer. So we won't hit our fitness strides that some of the teams are probably reaching beginning of September. We'll hit it beginning of October. We're a month behind.
Clinical, by all means, listen, Clinical as a new channel. Want to go over there and give that a watch as well. Our wingers had so much of the ball and barely created anything. Grealish was good first half, but the second half both were ineffective. One of them scored, mate.
I've got probably a reason why. Well, I don't entirely agree with it. Obviously, I respect everyone's opinion. Grealish has not had much of a pre-season, so he started tonight again in that heat. He's human. He's a human being. He's bound to have gone a little.
Let's be honest. He's still getting over that hangover.
Do you want to give you a bit of news on Grealish? Grealish was injured at the Arsenal game. Took a knock. So for everyone who got excited about him being dropped for Burnley, he wasn't dropped. He took a knock while he was doing shuttle runs afterwards. So technically, that was his first game back tonight.
Can I ask you a question, and the guys in the chat as well? I'd like their opinion on this. I tweeted this out not long after the match started. I think we have just seen early on what Cover can do. People seem to think he's just a meathead, but he will assist Haaland plenty this season. Opposition underestimate him all you want. I think people have greatly underestimated Kovacic. We saw in the first half what prompted that tweet where he put that ball through for Haaland. Clever ball. We saw against Burnley where he did that little link up when Foden did his little pirouette. Kovacic, once he gets up and running, will be an absolute star for us. Probably bargain of the season.
I don't know why. How anyone underestimates him. I mean, he probably didn't fully fulfill his potential at Madrid, but he was Fans Player of the Year, I think, 2 seasons ago at Chelsea. So he's been there at 2 top sides at the top of the game, and in one of the probably the most overachieving international side there is. I mean, Croatia's the size of Wales, and they've got World Cup final, World Cup semis, etc. I mean, and Kovacic has been key, and I think that's why we went for him, and we probably went slightly outside our normal thing, because I think Pep realised here's someone 3-4 years younger than De Bruyne and Gundogan, who's played at the same level as De Bruyne and Gundogan for the last 10 years. I don't necessarily mean as good all the time as those two, but he's been playing for one of Europe's top sides for years. And
not only that,
he was at Inter Milan before that. So I mean, it was like, I guess it's 3
after himself, can't he? He can look after himself. That is a, because really in our team, apart from Haaland, the only person who can really look after themselves there, in my opinion, sort of like midfield onwards, is Rodri. So having somebody else like up the field who can look after themselves, that's just a plus, because as much as I love Gundogan couldn't really put his foot in when he needed to and stuff like that. But I think come the end of the season,
in a way, Bernardo can. I think Bernardo can look after himself and everyone else. I think he's quite tasty, Bernardo, when he wants to be. I think he's got.
I need to read this out, because I think it's a very good point that BB makes. And I think it needs to be really listened to a lot, if I'm totally honest with you. It says inverted wingers, man, we don't do chalky boots anymore. Now, what BB means with that is we don't do a Nicky Summerby, Peter Beagrie, where we hit the line and then we cross the ball. Maybe that's what we'll do with Doku. I'm not sure, because that's Doku's game. But Mahrez didn't do that. The last time that happened was Sane and Sterling, and we sold it. This is what I'm saying. Do you know what's bugging me at the minute?
Quite like, do you know what?
We won the treble playing this way. Yeah. Why is it suddenly a problem when we won? I heard today someone say, football's boring. It wasn't boring when you were all celebrating the treble last season. What's changed in 2 games?
I think because we've not won 6 Premier League games in our first one, people are panicking a bit.
I am baffled. I'm not going to lie, I'm baffled.
Do you know? Part of it, I think, is the hyping for the Premier League season for the last 5 years has really pretty much, or 6 years, it's pretty much gone through the same thing, which is City come back for training 2 weeks after everyone else and start the season fairly slowly. I think we usually win the first game, but we usually lose the second game, I think, thinking back. But we start slowly. And then at the same time, the press want to sell the fact this is going to be a really exciting story. So the press have bigged up Liverpool most of the years previously, and this year Arsenal a bit, and talked about as if they've signed world-class players. And, one of Arsenal's 3 world-class signings is out for the season already. I mean, that's... so you have...
I've missed that one, Rick.
Isn't Timber badly injured, I thought? Or was that?
I know
Yeah.
he was injured.
And
I didn't know how long he was out for.
Yeah, there's
Do you
rumours.
I said this the other day on a space, Rich. You look at the players at the moment that are all getting ACLs or serious injuries within pre-season or the first week of the league because they're playing too much football.
Yeah, and you know
Then
the one.
UEFA, by the way, have come out with this grand idea that this season will be the last time we ever play normal World Club football, and the season after will be a 30-team league in the middle of the season because that's the greatest thing UEFA have ever come up with.
It's mad. And
stupid.
You've seen that, and you've seen, I mean, look at, say, Real Madrid losing Courtois for the season. I mean, he has been by far their most important player the last 2 seasons. So, they're probably our biggest rival for the Champions League, and they've arguably lost their best player, certainly the best player against us in Liverpool last year, for the season. So there's a lot happening, but I just think that people just buy into it. They buy into the Arsenal suddenly that Rice and Havertz are going to transform Arsenal into, Arsenal have got to. You got to think about it that we gave Arsenal an 8-point, 10-point, whatever it was, head start, and then beat them by nearly that many, or 5 points or 8 points, whatever it was at the end of the season. They've got to make up that gap whilst dealing with the Champions League, whilst dealing with the fact they'll probably have injuries this season when they really didn't have too many serious injuries last year. And with someone like where we've got Aymeric Laporte, 6th choice centre-back, they've got Rob Holding 3rd choice. And you're looking at those things and you're thinking, they're going to have, I think they've made a mistake signing 2 joint first choice goalkeepers, because I just think that's going to lead to unsettlement.
Yeah. I think that's because they need 2 goalkeepers when they play us at the same time, mate.
Well, probably. But I just think there's so much hype about everyone catching us that they forget that those teams that we've got to drop back, and those teams have got to improve a mile to catch us. And
do you know what bugs me, Rich?
Spot on,
these
Rich.
2 comments from Steve and Douglas, comments of the night so far. Have faith. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Said this, and they're trying to get Lucas Paqueta in. They're trying to get Doku in. They are also, I can tell you now, trying to get a 3rd player in. The one thing I did get told today, and Andy might have got told the same, is City made 4 inquiries on players within the last 24 hours. 4. City are very, very busy. City are trying to do deals. So if everyone's sat there thinking City are sat on their hands going, yeah, we want Palmer and McAtee and all these boys, which, by the way, I'm totally fine with if they went that way. But we played 2 games, won them both. And fans are having a whinge and a moan about the style. I don't get it anymore. I really don't. And I'll be straight with you. I said to Andy at halftime, I'm done with social media. Not because, but the simple fact is, I don't want to do shows where I'm having to sit calming everyone down every single time we play a football.
Not your job to do, mate.
I'm not a counsellor. Andy's not a counsellor.
It's
Rich is
bizarre
not a
because,
counsellor.
yeah,
it's a good job because if I am not a counsellor, trust me, if you get advice off me, you'll end up drunk.
They think it's bizarre, the mentality of City fans. Like, I've spent the summer, reading Arsenal fans all over social media saying how City are now scared of them. We've beaten them 15 of the last 17 games, and the 2 we didn't. One was a friendly, and one was a semi-final where we rested players for the Champions League and the league. Rested 6 or 7 of our team. So, and we've just crushed them in the league. Absolutely crushed them when they had an 8-point head start, and we cruised. Like Shergar cruised home. And so this. But they've been bigging themselves up.
Well, though, did it?
I saw one Arsenal fan doing a combined City Arsenal team with 9 Arsenal players in it, and I'm honestly, I look at City and Arsenal, and I think you would really struggle to justify 2 or 3 Arsenal players in that team. You genuinely would, but they've got 9, and so you have, and the Scousers were exactly the same. the Scousers were exactly the same. Yeah, every year we've got the best player in every position. We're going to win. And City fans, meanwhile, who probably do have some of the best players in every position, we're like, oh, it's going to be a disaster. The Scousers have overtaken us. Arsenal meltdown. The season's terrible. We're awful. And it's quite funny how it's almost reverse of how it should be. It really is. You've got these deluded fans of some of the other teams thinking,
I've got a question.
It's amazing. And then us going,
by the way, we're not going in on anyone in here. We're talking about the fan base in general at the minute. It's getting a bit out of hand, in my opinion. And what I mean is, it's all fine to have an opinion. It's all fine to believe what you want to believe. But when you are 1-0 down in a Supercup with a squad that will not be the squad in 2 weeks' time, and we're going in on Grealish, we're going on a youngster, we're going in on different players. I mean, like I said, Josko Vardio got slated at halftime by fans. And I'm like, what is going? It's like, we won the treble, so expectations now, we're not going to win a treble again.
I saw a post from quite a prominent Twitter.
I'm sorry on the breaking news.
Martin, I saw one today on quite a prominent Twitter account basically saying, have City's board bottled it over the last 3 years? Because we haven't spent the most money in the league. And you're like, all our board is tasked with is winning. It's winning, it's good, good business and winning trophies. And we've won the league the last 3 years, and we won the treble last year. And you're looking at that and saying, that's bottling it. Like, I mean, is it a point where there's some fans who, if we don't win 6-0 every game and win 7 trophies a season, are melting down?
I said this to Martin before. I think the problem with Twitter is now it's pointless having a follow button, because you used to be able to follow the people, now I see stuff on Twitter. Nobody's retweeted it. I don't follow them and they don't follow me. And I think that's what a lot of this intense social media is about now. Blame Elon Musk because
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, I get I don't see, there's people on Twitter who I don't agree with quite often, but I love following them and interacting with them.
Yeah. Of course. Do you remember last season? How did we start the season last season? And I know we're not going into the game a lot, but the concerning thing is that, I mean, last season, let's look at the fixtures we had. Yeah. If you go all the way back to the very start of, where the frig's that going here? No, hang on. Wrong one. Wrong one. Give me a sec. Wrong one. We kicked off 2-0 against West Ham. Yeah. Is what? Yeah, 2-0 against West Ham.
It was Newcastle, wasn't it? That was the second game.
Second game, we drew 3 each.
Yeah.
No,
and we melted down big time.
And then we had and I remember coming on here, and Rich probably does. Andy, you weren't part of us then, and it's very good that we found you now then. And I did a show, if you remember, and I think Rich was on it, about being second in the league, and everyone was having a meltdown. The football's boring, it's slow, I don't understand it. We just drawn against Nottingham Forest. And Pep came out with his big, massive press conference and said, right, the team were getting booed off at half-time at Tottenham. We went on and won a treble. Everyone goes into delight. And then the first time we don't play so well, in 35, 40-degree heat, by the way, down on that pitch tonight, at midnight, people are going bonkers again.
Yeah, well, they just need to.
I don't get it. It's going to be a long season for you as a fan if you are going to melt down every time we concede a goal.
Martin, I need to go, but you're 100% spot on. People need to get a grip of themselves. I do wonder how Britain got through the Blitz and stuff with some of the meltdown.
Did Rich compare City to Shercar?
No, I did compare us to Shergar, how we went.
I said Shercar then, didn't I? No, not the tiger in Jungle Book.
I just want to say, I don't think we're going to get kidnapped and turned and buried in an Irish bog. But
there's 150 of you on and only 65 likes. do us a favour and hit that like button.
Uh,
Come on, we're here to calm everyone.
Maybe you got some people who are having meltdowns, Martin, and they want a bit more negativity.
I will say one thing, mate. I will say one thing. You know, the guys in the chat and stuff like that, generally, well, consistently, they're all right. I'm not just saying it because they're there. I've said this to you.
Take care, Rich. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
see you later,
level-headed. We're level-headed. See ya.
9:30, Rich.
9:30. Okay.
See you later, pal.
See ya.
But the guys in the chat, mate, they're normally bang on. You know, not everyone's going to agree all the time. And I think that's why you've got a good fan base, because you've got the right blend of people who come to watch your shows.
Yeah, this community here is top notch. Your community is top notch.
So what I've started doing, mate, is I don't fight, and we've had this conversation. I don't fight other people's battles on social media. What I do now on Twitter and stuff like that, if I don't know them or they're talking bubbles, I just block them so I don't see them now. I
should do that.
All my energy,
because it's the channel one. It's harder for me to play that game because it's the channel one. If it's maybe I need to get a personal one and then leave the channel one just for the channel one. But it's something I can look at.
Mate, because we're seeing things on Twitter now where you don't follow someone, they don't follow you. It's not.
Get in there. Papa Doms are lovely.
Papa don't preach. It's a Madonna song.
Whoa! Stop that.
No, it's a Madonna song. Papa don't preach.
I wonder what you were doing.
Right. So, what we're saying is, just this. Don't fight other people's battles. Only engage with the people who you follow. This is my new rule. I engage with the people who I follow, right? Because you can deal with that. You're not going to agree with them all the time, but you know generally you follow them and they follow you for a reason, because you can have a healthy debate, whether you agree with somebody or not. The other people just you're wasting your energy on them, mate. You're wasting that energy when you could be putting your good energy to people who are all right.
Pep's come out with some quotes tonight, Andy. One of them, we've had a couple of people show us, David Mack for one and a couple of other people. Pep's come out and said he doesn't know if Palmer will stay. Previously had the feeling he wants to leave. I don't think a loan is going to happen. He's either going to stay or he's going to be sold.
I hope he stays. I'd like to give him another season, depending on who comes in, because again, it's that toy thing, isn't it? You know, it don't mean to
read my Twitter.
No, actually, I've always said about toys, new toys, old toys. One thing I will say about that, if we get rid of Palmer, if it's a selling situation, and everyone's going, bring Oscar Bob in. Used to say Oscar Bob is going to be better than Cole Palmer in a first team situation. Always be careful what you wish for, because it's okay. People saying sell Cole Palmer, sell him, da. We may not have anybody better coming in.
Well,
sometimes it's always better the devil, you know.
You know, for a bad. I mean, what do you think the stats were?
What, tonight?
Mm-hmm.
It's about 80% possession, wasn't it?
74% possession to Seville's 26. How many shots do you think Seville had in the game?
5.
8. How many did City have?
About 12.
23. How many shots on target?
How many on target?
7 on target for us, which is not good. It's about, a quarter, a third, something like that. Just over a third. Seville had 4. 8 corners to 0 corners for Seville. 5 fouls. Seville had 14.
Do you know what people are forgetting, though?
Out there and battered us.
Do you want to know what people are forgetting, though? I mean generally from what I've laughed on Twitter and stuff like what I've been laughing at. People think Sevilla, we should have been rolling them over.
Do you think
Sevilla have got a very, very good record in that competition, mate? If I'm not mistaken, they've won the Europa Cup, the Europa League more times than anybody else. they're not a bad side. They're a very fit side, and they can play decent football.
You think
I
that's
thought
what
that
it
was
is?
it.
Do you think people have gone in thinking we'll smack them 4-5 tonight because we
I
didn't?
think so, yeah. Don't work that
I
way.
like coffee. Yes, I know your coffee's a Newcastle fan. Your boys are on tomorrow. I've got, just let everyone know, we've got PD Proudlock and Tony from It's All Black and White TV coming on tonight to be part of the panel. Pete's going to stay. Pete's long friend of the channel. He's going to stay for the full show. Tony will just come on for the Newcastle part. Newcastle are very confident on Saturday. A lot of the fans are. I think they'll get. I'll be on. No, listen. I think it'll be an hard game.
Mm-hmm.
If it had been at St James's Park, I'd have given Newcastle a chance. Little sneak peek for tomorrow, Des. I think City will have too much for them at the Fortress Etihad. And being the first home game back. But that we'll go into that more tomorrow, mate.
I think Newcastle are going to do very, very well this season, mate. And I tip them top 3 this season.
I've got them 6 because I think when the European football kicks in, I think he'll take his toll.
Eddie Howe's done an absolute amazing job there, mate.
Is that all it is? 13 trophies to catch Taggart. Oof.
Should do most of them by the end of the season.
Someone said to me yesterday, we can win 7 trophies. I said, we can. He says, we can. I said, we can't. We can only win 6. I went, well, name me the 7. And he went, Community Shield. I went, no, we've already lost that. And
it's a shield, not a trophy.
Yeah. Super Cup is a European Community Shield. We're over-exaggerating a bit here. Shut up, you.
Do you want to know what I saw tonight, mate? A, we won a trophy. B, we had a very, very good workout against a very good team.
Who do you think? I mean, obviously, I thought Kovacic did better. By the way, Kovacic, couple of them through balls in the first half, that would have been KDB. We'd all been waxing lyrical about him, but because it's Kovacic, it's a bit of a different thing, I suppose. But I thought Kovacic was very good. Edison, I never want to hear anyone slander Eddie ever again. The guy, by the way, do not believe any of that crap about Al Hilal coming in for him. He's going nowhere. Ortega is probably going nowhere. City were actually getting papers ready today to offer him a new contract, I was told by our source. So there you go. It's now up to Ortega whether he wants to. It's whether he wants the number 1 spot.
What do we know about transfers? Do you know anything today? I've been out of the loop pretty much today, mate.
That's not stalled. It's stalled a little bit because West Ham have upped the price. Typical David Sullivan.
Don't blame him. It's their players. It's their right to do what they want with their player, mate.
That'll still. I think that needs a bit of Paqueta to push the move a little bit. If you know what I mean, he needs to push that. I want to get out. Doku, don't believe any of that. West Ham can be in for him all day long. He'll be a City player. Whether he's a City player straight away is a different. This is another thing. Let's allow some players to settle. Let's not just roll in first 2 games and bang, they're not scoring.
By the way, did you catch Pep's
cheeky sod?
Did you catch what Pep said before the match, mate, about they asked him about KDP, and he said
guaranteed one in.
Yeah,
they've already got one. I've got a feeling it will be Paqueta. They are looking at a 3rd one now. Listen, I know Tomy's put out it's going to break the transfer window. So everyone immediately went to Mbappe, Salah, Neymar. I don't know where, but we were going everywhere today. There is no. I've had that confirmed, by the way. They inquired about Dani Olmo, but Dani Olmo is not the player. So I don't know where that came from. Laporte is still mulling over the Saudi Arabia deal. There was a couple of others as well. City are in for a very busy window. Cancelo's going to go out. McAtee, there's major interest from Ajax.
I reckon Gundogan might go, you know.
If we do sell McAtee, there'll be a buyback with it. Same with Palmer. There'll be a buyback with Palmer.
I will say one thing, though, mate. It's the season's not even started. It's just, as I say, that was a that I think tonight will knackering, but that will stand us in good stead. That.
Yeah.
For
Couples
fitness.
magic. It was. I was worried. Was you worried at Pens?
Me?
Did you get because I was like, Edison's not going to save
Yeah,
it.
I tweeted before the penalties, tongue in cheek. What did I put? I put something on the lines of hang on, I'll tell you. Again, it was just tongue in cheek because of our record in penalties. What did I put now? I put unlucky City. At least we gave it a good go and was unlucky losing on penalties.
Yeah, he did put that, I will say. And nearly wrote a very nasty reply to him.
No, but the thing is, I don't. Obviously, I love our club. I love our club. But I used to, and I've told you this. I used to, if City used to lose, when you lose quite often, it used to ruin my weekend. Absolutely ruin my weekend. I used to go to bed in a bad mood, wake up in a bad mood. There's a lot of things in life what are more precious than football. So over the years, I'm in the way now. Do you know something? I love the club, but also I love other things equally and also more importantly. And there's more things important in life than City losing a game. Listen, it's going to happen.
You know what makes me laugh? We're the only club, with the first club to win a treble and the Supercup in the same calendar same season. Because this is the Supercup classes as last season's cup. But we're the first team to ever do it because United didn't win the Supercup and they won the treble. So this is what I mean. Let's just relax. Let's look at things in January, February. Let's not go into, and this isn't for anyone in the chat, this is for anyone who's watching this on the outside. Relax. By the way, Laporte's fee is criminal. I don't know what that is. I did ask that today. I said, is it 16 million? I got told it was about 35, but that's still low. But it could be. I don't know. I think we'll get Doku, the West Ham player, could be a tricky one. I think we'll get Paqueta done. We went to the pub tonight, me and our Irish branch for the first time. Great night. Hope you had a lovely time, top of the league. Love watching Pep smiling with Haaland tonight. Like, Haaland didn't have a great game today because he didn't have a lot of surveys, but that's going to change because you're going to get Paqueta, you're going to get Doku, you're going to get somebody else possibly. Things are going to change. Things are going to look very different. But you're never going to get Grealish and all these wingers to be these driving Leroy Sané players. It's not them. This is my point with the Grealish thing. And if people are willing to ditch the Grealish, I mean, you got to remember, at the moment, we've got 10 homegrown players. 10. If Palmer and McAtee go out, we're down a 8. Grealish ain't going nowhere. Phillips will go nowhere.
I've got some breaking news, mate.
You go in.
You know, City, they're not a bad team, you know.
No.
I think people need to understand that. We're not actually a bad team. In fact, I'd say that we're pretty goddamn good.
We're very, very good. By the way, there's nearly 150 on. If you can give it a big thumbs up, that would be appreciative. If you have not joined if you have got any of the spare money, by any means, it's something we never beg for. It's your choice. If you want to become a member, it's 99p, nothing more. You will be entered into an end of the month competition to win your own cup that Andy might do for you. All something, whatever we can get, you will sort out, and we'll get it posted out to you. And also, like Alan showed you earlier, super chats, and it all goes back into your channel to make it bigger and better.
Speaking of which, mate, nobody actually won the mug tonight because nobody got the score right. However, out of the goodness of my heart, you know, and I'll let you police this once I've gone in a bit, mate. I'll roll it over for you to the Newcastle game for the correct score.
Do you know what? Do you know what as well? People might think I'm being harsh, and I've been called dinosaur, Brexit FC. I've been called a few things, and it's fine. Listen, it's my opinion. You don't have to listen to my opinion or Andy's or Rich's or Ozzy's. Don't have to do. The simple fact is, we're just Manchester City fans. I said this on my space yesterday. I ain't here for the trophies. The trophies are a very nice bonus for me. If Manchester City were playing on my park outside, I'd open my curtains and go and watch. If it was sunny, I'd make my way down there. But that's the thing. I didn't sit there. I sat there going, yes, I want us to win. Of course I do. I'm not stupid. But we're not going to go unbeaten all season.
Why not?
Because I think the league's too competitive to do that now.
It is, mate. And that is the thing this year, and I keep saying it, could potentially be the most competitive Premier League we have seen. There's been a lot of money spent. We're only just entering that race with a lot of money now, where our deals will be done. But the thing is, as Rich said before, teams need to catch us up significantly, and we need to dip. The thing is, we're not going to dip. We're going to increase it, so we're going to be as you were.
And exactly, but what we're going to do in 2 weeks, that's just going to go right back again.
We're going to win the treble again.
Anyway, let's get through some of your comments. Smash the likes, Proper City channel. Thank you very much, Douglas. I'm in Dreamland. Surely every blues other than the kids. Listen, I'm all fine with the kids because I was a kid once. Andy was a kid once, back in Mary Poppins days, up there cleaning chimneys. But I understand all City fans. I've always said, I've no problem with a fan from abroad becoming a fan. I've no problem with new fans becoming fans, youngsters. We were all youngsters and we were all new fans once. When I first went to Main Road, I was a new fan. What I'm saying is...
It was all in black and white as well, wasn't it, mate?
I don't think we should do this gatekeeping stuff. I totally agree with all that. What I don't like is City aren't 1-0 up after 20 minutes. They're all crap. That's different. That's not us. Learn the Manchester City way. That's all I beg, because we're not going to win leagues for 10 years on the bounce.
Do you know something, mate? I think you're sort of like preaching to the converted in the guys in the comments.
No, I'm not actually talking to them. I'm talking to people who might tune in as well.
They're all doing it wrong way, am I? They're all right, them, They're all right, them.
Listen, the best City community in the City world. I think City Newcastle, and that's not saying anyone else's community is bad. Just you're the best. I think it's their channel.
There's a lot of people on social media what are complete whoppers, but using that.
If people on here told me, Martin, shut up and piss off, I'd shut up and close the channel and piss off. It's their channel.
I'll give you a free mug if you do.
I'm not here for me. I'm here for them. I'm not here for me. Every penny this channel makes goes right back into the channel, or it goes to Alzheimer's Research UK in honour of my mother and father. But because listen, I'll tell you straight, and I'm on my soapbox now. You got me on my bloody soapbox. I love doing this. This is my break from my crap life that I've got right now. You are my break to it. Why I love going on Andy's, I love going on Vater's, because it gives me that break. I will talk about Manchester City to a wall. I love this football club. This football club means everything to me. Anyone who's ever met me says I've never met anyone who talks about City more than you. I am 24/7 about the damn place. I talk about City in my sleep.
I'm laughing
at this damn football club.
You're absolutely right, mate. I'm laughing at Super City then. Super City, yes, you can.
What sport?
Get Martin, send Martin the detail.
Martin, shut the channel and piss off.
Message Martin and we'll make it happen. Super City. But listen, Listen, Martin is absolutely right in what he's saying. Listen, it's not the
It'd
best.
be nice, but you're not doing it like coffee.
Listen, he is good. You know, I know everybody has the woes and stuff like that, but Martin's juggling a lot of spinning a lot of plates at the minute, and this is his get out. This is his relief. Now, however, I will say this: if it was a bunch of morons who was in the chat and stuff like that, Martin had just not shut the channel, but he'd take a break. So, you actually keep him going at the minute, which.
Yeah,
fair play to you.
That's why I like going on Andy's. Keeps me going. But Andy won't have me on. Keeps banning me. Mike, what does the weather West Ham player bring us as a player, Lou? What you mean? What does Paqueta bring us? Very close control in a very different way. This is just my opinion. If you know when we play them teams that literally flood and play a back seven and don't let us give us any space, what Paqueta is very good at is fight. I always go back to David Silva. Watch David Silva turn on a sixpence. And what I mean by that is he could have three players around him and he'll do a 180 turn away from the players and lay the ball off. Paqueta is very good at that. And he's very, very good at going back to his six, receiving the ball, and then starting the play back again.
Picks locks.
They are. Should have been a lot picker. And I'm honestly telling you now, don't look at Paqueta at West Ham. Look at him for Brazil. Look at him because you've got to look at him and what he's going to bring, because any player that joins Manchester City under Pep Guardiola is going to go up 10, 20, 30%. You're not buying the finished article. Erling Braut Haaland was not
more possession.
Yeah.
He'll have a lot more possession in our team.
Spot on. When he's at West Ham, he doesn't. Listen, Newcastle was scary good against Villa. Scary good, and it's going to be one hell of a game. I just think because we're at Fortress Etihad, it will count. But Newcastle are going to be something to live with. I just think when they get to the Champions League, it'll be a bit tricky simply because they're in pot 4 and they're going to be playing all the big boys. And when you're playing that Wednesday night, Tuesday night into the weekend, it can take its toll. Look at us when we first entered it. It's a tricky balance to get.
It is. I tell you what Newcastle have got in their favour. St. James's Park, mate. I just think I love St. James's Park. I really do. That's an interesting one. What Bob's saying there.
What?
Bob.
Sean's put Jack is in the 3rd season now, but doesn't progress. What do you class as progression, Sean?
I think he's already progressed since he joined.
Here's a question for you, Sean. Everyone's raving about Doku. Who scored more goals last season, Doku or Jack? Who had more assists, Doku or Jack? Who was our third, and this is statistically correct, our third most potent creator last season in the whole team was Jack Grealish. So I need to know what people are asking about, what they want more from. Yes, does he need to score more goals? Yes, he does. But Bernardo Silva only scored 7, so Bernardo Silva needs to score more.
Sell him.
Share it around.
Share the love. Enough love to go
thank
around.
you, Super City. Martin, Andy, I learn a lot. Listen, we're only here to give our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to listen to us, I never look at myself as a inspirational person. I'm just
Sean's put Martin eats goats.
Martin the goat. He said,
Martin eats goats. No, Martin eats goats. He's not a goat. He eats them.
The Newcastle stream is tonight at 9:30.
Tonight? I wouldn't. Hey, we're in Thursday, kids.
Man U.
Bob, no, put that one back. Put that one back, please, mate. Bob, I'm going to look right down the camera here. Bob, that just goes to show alcohol and drugs don't mix. Leave off them, kid.
Bob, unless you're going to keep paying those referees, mate, you may win the league.
I can actually spell Bob's name backwards. That's how intelligent I am.
Hey, should we all do an anana? Oh, nah, nah. Punch her in the head. Oh, nah, nah. Punch
He's
her
to
in the head.
blame. Oh, no, he's to blame.
I mean, what a couple of debuts. Scored from the halfway line and then punches a Wolves player in the head.
It'll be a knockout signing him.
My mate told you my mate, season's old at United, he said to me, I'm not watching United this season. I'm just going to sit watching Onana. He's like box office. He said he's like your Claudio Bravo, when he went, yeah? Like watching Claudio Bravo. Thank you very much, Alec. I appreciate that.
Watching Juliet Bravo for you older ones.
Thank you, Berg. By the way, I have got a special thank you to say to someone, and I hope they're still in the chat, that I need to say. They sent me a lovely message today. Bob, we agree, mate. Man U will win the Prem. Oh, look, he's spamming it as well. But people looking at Paquetas, people looking at stats. When did they all become stat merchants? If you look at Sterling's stats, Sterling was world class.
They became stat merchants when we had all the Twitter lawyers. I didn't realize how many Twitter lawyers there was and Twitter physios.
Yeah. Everyone knows about football finance.
Yeah.
Jack's mate. I don't get the Jack thing. Doku has been playing for Rennes, so Ligue 1, you're telling me, is a harder league than the Premier League. Ligue 1, Doku should be getting far more than. I'm not saying he won't be a good player.
Oh, I thought that was Rennes then. I was going to say,
let him develop. Come on, Jack Grealish is not this bad player. I don't know. Yes, he will renew. I'm trying to find out about that. El Chigrito, the Spanish TV football channel, has come out and said that, or Jose Alvarez has come out, Spanish Barcelona journalist, by the way. Barcelona journalist has come out and said that because Bernardo has agreed it's going to be till 2026. So it's an extra year, 3 years.
Listen, let's just drop the BS, mate. Nobody knows anything about that. And whoever that Chikorito is, I've got more respect for Doritos, if I'm being honest. Listen, how could somebody possibly know about a contract what's not even been signed yet? Come on, listen, how would people know stuff like that? People listen to the wrong people.
I want to start taking on and beating defenders. And do what, though? Because we don't do that. We don't. This is what I'm saying, Dennis. If you're wanting Jack to hit the byline, like BB said, put chalk on the boots. We don't do that. This is what I'm saying. You're asking City to not play the way they're playing them. Hello, Mavis. Hope you are well. Thank you for joining us. I'm just saying, if you want City to hit the byline and start putting crosses in, then you need to change the way we play. And maybe that will happen. And maybe Jack will have to change his game. But what people are asking for is not the way City are playing. So you're kind of having to go at Pep as well. And you understand what I mean by that? We don't play that way.
I'm just sorry, mate. I'm just laughing at top of the league about Juliet Bravo.
That was a point. They dismantled Wolves was breathtaking. Yeah, funny. Can't wait. Can't wait for Onana to be at the Etihad. I was what the guy said to me when we had a corner and Onana went for a chat with Ten Hag. He said, and he went, I don't know what he was doing. He just went for a chat. He said, the opposition, he said, United had a corner and Onana goes for a chinwag for Ten Hag. He says, where are you going?
Long may it continue.
Oh, he's going to be box office. Absolutely box office. Anyway, the closing thoughts of this is very simple. Manchester City have won yet another trophy. We now have 3, count them, the big 3 European trophies. The UEFA Cup Winners' Cup from 1969-1970, the first team to ever win a domestic cup and European trophy within the same season. Believe it or not.
Embrace what we've got. Embrace what we've got, because something. Once Pep goes, mate, and we may not be as successful. I think everybody does that. People will reflect on that and say, I can't believe we was absolutely going mental that we only won the Super Cup, and we played bad in the Super Cup. It's a trophy. Just respect what we've got. Not use to me. I keep doing it the wrong way. that way.
I've done it now. You got me bleeding doing it. There will be a fat shirtless bald magpie on Saturday. I'm not taking my shirt off. Bloody cold on a Saturday night in town.
You're in the right colours, mate.
I'm telling you, if I no, this is neighbour, you cheeky son. Listen, I'll have Andy taking photos of me again.
Does anybody want to see that? And by the way, it was only of his bald napper because I sit above him. See, I was going to say I'm on top of Martin, but that just doesn't sound right.
1 out of 6 trophies. Look, we're on the countdown. 1 out of 6. Here we go. Let's get them all. I don't mean hit the byline. You can beat your fullback on the inside, Jack. Because what I mean, do we play that way, Dennis? Did Palmer do that? Did Mahrez do that? Does Foden do that when he plays on the wing? If it was just Jack, Dennis, I would agree with you. But when I'm seeing all our sort of wide men doing this, even Alvarez comes inside when he goes on the wing.
Matron.
So what I mean is, well, tell me whether I'm wrong, but what I'm watching, all of our wide men do the exact same thing. None of them take on the guy inside.
Pep's ball retention. We like to keep possession of the ball. When Jack Grealish has got the ball, that means the opposition haven't. That is like something to Pep. I nearly said something.
Yeah, and listen, if we change it, great. That's the way it is. Our wingers are there to widen the pitch. Exactly. Like you look at Jack tonight, he gets the ball and he comes across. I need to change this wording. He runs across the box. He comes inside and runs across. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but no, the big thing is what you doing now?
Have you got a message? I'm being told, and I'm not in the know.
I've had no messages.
Paqueta's papers are going into West Ham tonight or stroke tomorrow morning.
Hang on, is he messaged you and not me? Are you lying to me?
No.
Has he messaged you? I will name him on air if I don't get a message in 2 seconds. I will name you on air. No, I won't. I'm only kidding. I have to go. Thank you very much. Don't. You'll put his name up. I want us to win the UCL and Prem again. We very, very well do, but let's not have a meltdown if we don't, is all I'm saying. I'm proud of the lads. Exactly. ITK was. We're not ITKs. I just think Pep was thinking of Newcastle. Spot on. I can't. Your name is great, but I'm not. No, hot shits. Nice penalty by Alvarez. It was.
You was going on about the Shere Khan before, mate. That name sums it up.
I can see winning. You know what? We're here to stay, and that's what matters. But the big thing is, win or lose, you sit till you die. If you can't support us when we lose, don't support us when we win. First thing. Second thing, don't worry. It's the second game of the season. Do you remember Arsenal when they won, I think it was like the first 18 out of 19 games? Did they win the league? No. It's not how you start the race. It's how you finish it. Remember that. I'm not complaining about him cutting in. Bernardo, Foden, and Mahrez all dribble pass. I wouldn't say Bernardo does, mate. I don't think Jack does it as much. You don't mean to. No, I'm not saying you're being negative. I'm just saying I think it's the style we play, Dennis.
Dennis, you're entitled to your opinion. Dennis, there'll be a lot of people who absolutely agree with you, Dennis.
I want the Kevin Keegan. Listen, the best football I ever saw was Kevin Keegan. You score 4, we'll score 6.
What about Stuart Pearce?
And it will be an entertaining game. I'm not.
And I just love it. I'll just love it if we beat them.
Big up Paul City band. Stay patient, be loyal. Expect nothing. Stay in the moment. Exactly. Spirit is nothing. I'm a TIK total ignorant knob. Well, you are. It feels good that our team is the best in Europe. And you know what? Come December, we'll be the best in the world. And we'll have that lovely little gold badge on in the middle as well. Anyway, thank you for joining us, Andy. Where can they all find you, mate?
You're welcome. By the way, Super City, don't forget to drop Martin a message and we'll get a mug to you.
By the way, no, you won't. I'll tell you off air. Muddy Duck, what you did today was lovely. Thank you for that email. I will speak to you directly. I've got your mobile, mate. We'll have a chat directly. Thank you so much for the support of the channel. You are amazing. And every single one of you who support this channel, you are top notch. I can confirm to you all right now on your channel, believe it or not, you will not believe this, but we've had nearly 1,500 people watch this show already. There's been nearly 1,500 people on. You're
all not wired up right. To watch two bald, fat old men.
I'm not old and I'm not bald.
I meant, by the way, I meant you and Rich, not me, obviously.
Excuse me, I'm 40. So that's not old. I'm not bald. This is just
VAT, is that plus VAT at 20% now?
10th of December 82, my birth. No, I won't. I'm just naming it. I'm putting everything else in. Do you want my credit card number?
What's your PIN number, mate? And your security code?
Hey, guys, see how someone did that the other week. The best team in the world is All Blacks. They emphasise humility. By the way, big up to the England Lionesses today. Sorry, Pat, our fellow Mancunian whale. City Ladies have reached the World Cup final by smashing the Aussies 3-1, giving them a footballing lesson.
And for me, the star of the show was City's Alex Greenwood, and Hempo had a great game as well.
Yeah. Where are we up to now? It's not fat, it's pure muscle. Pay you later, sub to.
It was about me. It was about me, not you.
If you can smash that thumbs up on the way out, that'd be amazing. This will probably smash through the 2,000, but Manchester City is Supercup winners 2023. We are back tomorrow, 9:30, with Thursday night chat. We're going to start with the Newcastle preview with PD Proudlock and Tony from It's All Black and White TV. Alongside me, Ozzy. Andy's more than welcome to come and join. We'll have a really good natter. Then we're going to get into the nuts and the bolts of the transfer window. We're going to talk about how City are massively gearing up for a huge 10 to 12 days. There's going to be a number of outs. There will be a number of ins. I will speak to the guy I need to tomorrow, because speaks to Andy now, not me. And I will get back to you all tomorrow with any info I have. The line little sad because he knows he just wound all that up. Someone messaged me today, I think it was Daniel, went, "You're an ITK, you got Bernardo Silva, right?" I said, I wasn't the ITK, someone else was.
No,
I just passed it on.
The ITK, what mine is in the kitchen spelt with a K. If you know, you know.
Yeah, Colin Bell laying down, exactly. Bob Taylor laid the foundations, Jesus. He ate the foundations.
What was it like, Bill? Was
big fat Bob, big fat Bob, big fat Bob, big fat Bob, big fat Bobby Taylor. And by the way, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. Anyone who knows, that was the official champ for Robert Taylor. Am I right and am I wrong, Andy?
You're wrong. You're just being fattest.
No, I'm not. Do not lie.
Well, we called him a number of things, to be fair.
No, but wasn't that the song, though? That was the official song for him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Remember when George Weah, BM, I got George Weah and then the back of my shirt, and I had to, you know, when they changed it and put Richard Dunn on, and I had Dunn on the back, and it had the Weah imprint still underneath. My son's getting Vardy putting his shirt on Saturday while we're at the game.
Don't forget, anybody going to the anybody who does actually go to the match, there's who sit in the family stand. There's different entrances where people have got to go as well. I think we've got to go in. Is it X or Y. You know this thing from the club.
No, I go in the disabled entrance, mate. I go in entrance W.
I've heard what entrance you go in.
So that's my no. No, she might be watching. Anyway, big thank you to everyone who's. Martin's going to be streaming live from the car tomorrow night. Thank you all for joining. I hope you have a great evening. Big it up. Don't talk about how negative some of our players are. Big up how superb our football club is.
Embrace what we've got.
Champions again. Another trophy in the cabinet. Do you remember? I remember when the jokes were we didn't have a trophy cabinet. Now we need a bloody huge one.
We couldn't even afford Mr. Sheen. Now you have him on a show.
Take care all. See you tomorrow night, live 9:30 to the countdown to City are finally back at the Etihad. Cannot wait. Take care, boys.
I know.
Oh, 9320 Pubcast. Get over there. Top show. Take care.